Upliftment project. So first of all, guys, thank you for braving the morning traffic to get here to the studio and come to chat to us about what you guys are doing. So thank you for that.
Morning, Kieran. Thanks so much for having us here.
Good stuff.
Opportunity.
So I mean, first of all, what is the Sithanda Upliftment project?
So Sithanda Upliftment Projects was actually founded in September 2015 between three very passionate friends as honest coffee table talk. We've grown up in very privileged backgrounds, and we just decided to put our minds together and more importantly our hearts together, and decided to do something bigger than ourselves in reaching whichever communities needed us. And that's where the ball started rolling.
So to explain to me a little bit about the thought process behind it. I mean, you guys, all of us sitting here, as white South Africans, we need to understand what that word privilege is. I know it's a tough word for white South Africans to get their head around. It took me a while to get my head around it. I understand that, but I think I get it now. It's not about being rich. It's about where your life has begun. It's about what environment you grow up in. It's about what you are exposed to. Whereas so many, the vast majority of South Africans don't have that. We're just exposed to completely different things there. And so our environmental influence is so different, and that informs how we grow up and then what kind of human beings, or what kind of adult human beings we become. So explain to me the thought process, you guys sitting there deciding, instead of playing sport, I'm sure you do play sport, you'll look very fit and healthy. Instead of just playing sport and chasing after girls, I'm hoping you do that too. Or guys, if that's your thing, that's also cool. Whatever. But instead of doing that, you're going to go and give something back. You're going to create something. You're going to do something meaningful. How did that come about?
So I think at the essence of Sithanda Upliftment Projects is that we believe that a faithful heart will achieve an abundance, and our passion comes from a strong alignment in our faith systems. So for us, the vision of the charity was about bringing together people, because when we do come together, we really can achieve far greater things, as a community. And that's particularly why, the majority of our support team is made up of the younger generation, of these kids that we want to bring together, the future leaders of this country, and really show them how easy it is to give back and to really put in the time. So what we try to do is to create a platform where people can have fun, and that giving back shouldn't be a bind. There's so many privileged people, in this country of ours, due to our turbulent past, and I think they do want to give back. We believe that people really are kind-hearted in nature. They just often lack the initiative or the know-how to kind of get the ball rolling with that. And we're just trying to make a more accessible way for people to start giving back.
That's fantastic, man. Really cool. So, I mean, I know you guys are obviously Joburg based, but the schoolroom that you guys have created. So let's get to that. Tell us about the schoolroom that you've created, the school you've created.
So Joburg was obviously our base when we started, but we quickly moved to Durban. We always believed in our hearts that we weren't going to focus on one specific cause, and that instead, through our faith system, God would put the correct people on our paths. Ekurhuleni, which means a place of peace, is down in Durban in one of the townships, and it really is just run by Doris and Bongani, who are a loving couple who take kids into their actual home in the township every single day, in order to prevent them obviously getting up to the wrong things while their parents are at work and obviously trying to make incomes to support their families. We met with Doris and Bongani, and we immediately felt this is what we needed to do. It starts as a little rondavel, a little hut, which we are now developing into a fully fledged childcare facility.
Okay, I mean, so once again, I mean, that is really incredible. I just want to go backwards a little bit to something that, Gareth, that you said. It's important to teach these kids how to give back. So this is a theme that we had yesterday. We had Sam Tawil Moore from Growing Champions in here yesterday, and she said exactly the same thing. It's one thing to create a success story. It's one thing to take a child out of a previously disadvantaged area or a currently disadvantaged area and give that child a better education, and that child becomes something. That's a success story. That's a success story. That's fantastic. But that doesn't solve the problem. You need to have kids that are able to go back into their own environments, their own communities, and help other children out. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. So I think a good example of that is at Ekurhuleni now, where we are educating both the children of Doris and Bongani, and we're putting them through their architectural courses, and through that, the plan is to get them, as part of the contract and as part of our funding for them, is for them to come back into the community and help them have a means to generate income to support and to come and give back. We've got the SPCA involved. We've got Project Dog, who are getting involved and really helping us to make sustainable projects come to fruition, but also to carry on into the future and have that snowball effect. Maybe a good example is our monthly clothing sales that take place in the community within Ekurhuleni, where what we do from the Sithanda side is we come together and we get all the fortunate, through our networks, find the fortunate people who are willing to give away clothes that they don't use or that have become redundant or last season stuff. And we basically gather all of that, and we host these monthly clothes sales in the valley, where we sell those back to the community at 10 rand an item. And yes, we could give them for free, but there's so much to be learned in charging a small fee like that from a financial management perspective of the community, and the fact that at any one of those sales we can raise a substantial amount of money from within the community to help them uplift
that goes straight
the
back
do-gooders straight back into the daily running expenses of Ekurhuleni.
Okay, so I mean, just logistically, you're collecting clothes in Johannesburg and then you're selling them in Durban, or in KwaZulu-Natal. How do you do that?
Yeah, any means possible. Some of us are originally from Durban, so when we can go home, we take some stuff with us. We have a fantastic team down in Durban of volunteers and supporters who are just regularly, constantly gathering stuff.
Right.
And we're very generous for what has been supplied. There's actually a lot of stuff that has been given to our cause, and it really does get into the community, and they love it, It helps them a lot as well.
I've got a question here. Give us an example of a success story. So, I mean, obviously already the home and this couple who are running this home and welcoming these children into their home, and you're developing that home into a child care facility, that is a success story. But, I mean, can you speak about specific individuals who have come through your program and who are who you've made a difference for, and who are then making a difference in other people's lives?
So with Ekurhuleni, it's still a kind of work in progress, where we're trying to develop this full ECD center. So we found people that now are really doing good in the community. They're teaching good Christian values to the kids that they're bringing into their home, and we now are raising the funding through a variety of events that we'll touch on just now, in order to raise those funds so we can now build them a nice ECD center that's got your food processing areas, your clean ablutions, your nice classrooms. We're trying to work with the government now to get subsidized teachers involved there, so we can actually start. Foundation phase is such a critical part of a child's development, and we need to expose these kids to challenge them to be what they can be, down the line.
So talk to us a little bit about, you talk about the development, and I know yesterday again, Sam Tawil-Moore, who's a psychologist and an occupational therapist, that developmental thing is very important. It's no good grabbing a child who might be 8 years of old but hasn't gone through those specific markers, those specific pointers that younger kids get to. So, what age group of children are you dealing with, and how are you sort of monitoring that development for them? Are you guys qualified teachers? Do you have that sort of stuff in place?
We aren't qualified ourselves as young men, but we do have volunteers who have come forward, who are teachers, who have been in the industry for a while,
right,
with 3 to 8 year old being the age that they generally support. We have much younger ages down at Ekurhuleni, and obviously that's foundation phase age. It's a critical time of growth, education, and one of our supporters, Candice, is actually putting together a specific curriculum which will take those kids from what Ekurhuleni is now into a fully fledged educational facility, whereby they are actually being educated correctly, accurately, and in line with hopefully modern day equipment that can get these kids up and going.
Right.
And I think just to add to that, we're going to be, our feeder school from this is to go into Itemba, which is a far more established and legitimate, or not legitimate, far more established charity run initiative that's also in the valley, and they start slightly later. So what we're trying to do now is really get
prepare
these kids prepared
for that.
from a foundation phase and springboard them into that education system, because if they're going in there on their back foot, we all know the dropout rates and all the the disadvantages that come into play down the line.
Okay, I mean, that's fantastic. So I mean, obviously you guys need support. We've spoken about clothes that can be donated, but you know, in order for this thing to work properly, we need some heavyweight support behind you guys. Money is one thing, of course, that people can give. If there are corporate organizations out there that want to get involved with the Sithanda Upliftment Project, then that is why these guys are here. We need people to get involved. Individuals can get involved, but what else are you guys doing from a fundraising point of view? If you've got any specific events that you want to talk about to start getting the awareness out there and start raising funds.
Okay, so I think to start off with answering this, we must just go back to how we said in the beginning. We want to make this platform easier and more fun for people to get involved. So we want people to want to get involved in our cause and to raise funds. So up until now, the main way that we have been raising funds is through organizing events. We've just recently held a golf day, which was very successful. It's our second one now. And through events like that, if you go on our Facebook or our website, you can check the videos and all the drone footage and everything. It was really a fantastic day. We've just recently had a warrior race where we put a team together of like 50 guys. We get shirts sponsored and everyone raises funds to get involved. Yeah. And I think from that point of view, it's great because people come out and they have fun and to a certain extent they don't even realize what a massive impact they're having. It's then our job after that to really show guys like, listen, we've raised X amount of money and this is what it means. This is what it means in the community. This is what you guys have done. Right. And we're trying to just get a bit of traction with that. We've got a comedy evening coming up next week in Durban, which should be fantastic. And then 94.7, we've got a team of just short of 50 riders this year. Okay. We're going to be taking to the streets. Many who aren't cyclists, but that's not what it's about. It's just really about us, all getting out there and kind of showing our dedication towards a cause and raising a good amount of money. Right, and where are the contact points for you guys? I mean, is there a Facebook page?
There is. We have a Facebook page, which is obviously Sithanda Upliftment Project. Our website is www.sithanda.org. That's Sithanda. And everything on our website will give an accurate overview of who we are, what we do, and then obviously from a social media aspect, we are quite heavily involved on Instagram to keep people up to date with what we are doing and our ongoings as a cause.
Okay, so give us the website again.
It's www.sithanda.org.
And the Facebook page?
It's Sithanda Upliftment Project.
And all of the information about these events that you guys are having is going to be on either the website or the Facebook page.
Definitely.
You're on Instagram as well, is that right?
Yeah. Correct, we are.
So give us that.
Our Instagram handle is @Sithanda_up.
Okay, fantastic. Guys, listen, I want to thank you so much for coming in. I want to congratulate you. It's inspiring to see young South Africans doing what so many of us are not doing. So you guys are inspiring me, and I'm hoping we do the same for the greater Johannesburg area out there. Radio Today listeners, get involved with these guys. We can't just sit back and bitch and moan and complain. Oh, I said that word live on air, did I? I apologize. I got through nearly 3 days without swearing. That's pretty good. I apologize for that. We can't just sit down and complain about the government. We need to get involved. Us, the public, we need to do something. And all of us are capable of doing something. So guys, Gareth and Ryan from the Sithanda Upliftment Project, thanks very much for coming in. We're going to do some traffic now to help you get through the morning.